Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't had our season premiere yet, but this is insanity that's going on. I wanted to talk about this a little bit, and I said this before. The United Kingdom and Ofcom has pulled on a griffin's tail, literally. I mean, the backlash that's going to be on this um, may change everything. I mean, this is to the point where we're at that this might be the turning point on the war on the internet and to go into our favor. For the reason is now we're getting to the point where we're going to have to use the courts because we see the true face of these online protection bills, age verification, age assurance, CASA. We see the true face of all of this. And what it is censorship. Pure, unadulterated censorship. This is what they want. You're hearing this from certain politicians here in the U.S., which is backed by, this is what we're finding out, and when the season premiere comes out, we got some information that we're working on, that there's some backing from the United Kingdom. And of course, it goes all the way to Australia as well. And is going to be the World Economic Forum is also behind this. All of this together. For the reason is that they want to change the United States. They want to disregard our Constitution. They just want to take it and burn it. But let me tell you something. They got a major fight on their hands coming. Because we're not going to sit still. There are those of us here on YouTube, we're going to continue to talk about it. Whether YouTube puts us behind a brick wall or not, we got plenty of places we can talk on this. We have Rumble, we have Odyssey, we have many places where we can go and talk about this. And this is what I would suggest for you out there. Before we get into this article, drop a comment, like, share, and one of the most important things, depending on which site you are on, I want you to hit that subscribe button right now because it's very important. And for those of you who are on opposite sites, if you're on YouTube, jump over to Rumble, subscribe there, and vice versa. For the reason, especially when it comes to YouTube, that we may not be here if we get pushed away and hidden. But let me tell you something. We ain't going anywhere anytime soon. All of us here, even the smaller creators, we are sticking to our guns. Because now, the United Kingdom has this, and Ofcom have decided that they not going after, X or some of these Blue Sky, some of these sites. They're going after the trolling sites. Sites that have been around a long time. Kiwi Farms and 4chan. And I'll tell you this, they're not going to bend the knee. They're not going to bend the knee at all. So remember, subscribe. It's very, very important now, more than ever. This is not a ploy or anything to gain numbers and stuff like that. It is important that you get this information. And I hope you take the moment to watch this entire video and every other YouTuber video that is under this particular subject matter. All of us pretty much have some of us have different takes to the point, but it all comes down to the same. Censorship. And we have been warning you. We have been warning you for well over a year. When they started talking about age verification and age assurance and online censorship, online safety bills, child safety bills, CASA, all of this, we have told you that this is going to be an issue. It's going to be a constitutional issue. And it has been there. Now we need for all of you to wake up Start contacting your local congressman. Let them know we don't want age verification in our country. We don't want age assurance. We don't want online safety bills. We don't want CASA. We don't want the United Kingdom, Australia, the World Economic Forum interfering with our lives. Even the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, has shown the way. We're not going to take this. As the song says, we're not going to take it anymore. So let's get into this. We're going to read an article just to get into this. And this is a combination from, you can find it on the Kiwi Farms site. It's under Court Watch also. And if you have 404 Media, these are all connected together. It was produced in collaboration with these sites. So it reads as 4chan and Kiwi Farms sue the UK over its age verification law. Well, actually, it's more toward the online safety bill. 4chan and Kiwi Farms sue the United Kingdom's Office Communications, Ofcom, over its age verification law in the U.S. federal court Wednesday, fulfilling a promise it announced on August 23rd. In the lawsuit, 4chan and Kiwi Farms claim that the threats and fines that they have received from Ofcom constitute foreign judgments that would restrict speech under U.S. law. Your law in the United Kingdom is not my law in the United States. You cannot enforce these laws. Both entities say that the lawsuit that they are wholly based in the United States and they do not have any operations in the United Kingdom and are therefore not subject to local laws. Ofcom attempts to fine and block 4chan and Kiwi Farms, and the lawsuit against Ofcom highlights the messiness involved in trying to restrict access to specific websites or to force companies to comply with age verification laws. See, they want you to bend the knee. They don't want to geo-block you. Because you know what something it is? It's called the VPN. Yes, that's right. That's why they're trying to get age verification put on VPNs, which it's not going to happen. Because that's a stupid thing. They say a 6-year-old is not using a VPN to access the internet. The lawsuit calls Ofcom an industry-funded global censorship bureau. Ofcom ambitions are to regulate the internet communications for the entire world, regardless of where these websites are based or whether they have connections in the United Kingdom, the lawsuit states. On its website, Ofcom states that over 100,000 online services are likely to be in the scope of the Online Safety Act, from the largest social media platforms to the smallest community forum. Both 4chan and Kiwi Farms are notorious online communities that are infamous for their largely anything goes attitude. Yes, that's right. Users of both forums have been tied to various doxing and harassment campaigns over the years. Still, they have become the entities of fighting the hardest against the United Kingdom's disastrous Online Safety Act, which requires websites and social media platforms to perform invasive age verification checks on their users, which often requires people to upload an ID or otherwise give away their personal information in order to access large portions of the internet. Sites that do not comply are subject to huge fines regardless of where they are based. The law has resulted in an internet where users need to provide scans of their faces in order to access it. For example, certain music videos on Spotify. That's right, Spotify bent the knee. If you want to listen to music on Spotify, you got to go through age verification. The Electronic Frontier Foundation has said that the Online Safety Act is a threat to the privacy of users, restricts free expression by arbitrating speech online, exposes users to algorithmic discrimination through face checks, and leaves millions of people without a personal device or form of ID, excluding from accessing the internet. Ofcom began investigating 4chan over allegations of violations of the Online Safety Act in June. On August 13th, it announced a provisional decision that stated that 4chan had contravened its duties and began to charge the site penalty of what is it, 20,000 pounds, roughly $26,000 a day. Kiwi Farms has also been threatened with fines, the lawsuit states. American citizens do not surrender their constitutional rights just because Ofcom sends us an email in the face of these foreign demands. Our clients have bravely chosen to assert their constitutional rights. Preston Byron, one of the lawyers representing 4chan and Kiwi Farms, told 404 Media. Ofcom did not immediately respond to 404 Media's request for comment. And also, I just have to add to one more thing. From what I understand, the great Ron Coleman is joining on to this lawsuit as well. He's throwing in his 2 cents on there. We'll probably hear from him very soon. But you could see from on there that this has been filed on the District Court, District of Columbia, the DC Circuit Court. Basically, this complaint has been put on there. And understand this. We fought a revolution to separate ourselves from the United Kingdom. That's right, we did. And we won. We no longer bend the knee to England. We are our own country. By our own laws, with our own constitution. We are a republic. They cannot send any situation where they could try to arrest an American citizen for voicing their own opinions. They cannot fine an American company for the same thing as well, for their operations. You know, this is the point. If the United Kingdom wants to geo-block the website, and we've said this before, you know, I said, for those of you who are my UK viewers out there, you know, get a VPN if you want to watch this particular videos on my channel. Because geo-blocking a website doesn't stop the access. It just basically, you're able to use a tool like a VPN to access it elsewhere, as if you're not in the United Kingdom. That's why they won't do it. That's why they're going this way. Because if they get their way and a particular site decides to bend a knee, they'll be able to do it to everybody else. But they're not going to. The U.S. courts will put a stamp on this. I expect to see this at SCOTUS also. You know, I expect this. I'm hoping because, you know, Donald Trump has... The president has threatened tariffs on the United Kingdom. I say throw every tariff at them. Because, understand this, this has nothing to do with protecting the children. This has nothing to do with protecting the citizen. This has nothing to do with protecting the country. This is all have to do with those who want control of the internet, who wants to control information, artistic expression, history, education-wise, you know, and they want to control everything. See, we learned something during COVID, how people in government can restrict information, and it's still being restricted now. There are major problems throughout Europe, Australia, New Zealand, that basically has been sanitized because basically they don't want people to know what's going on out there. But we already know what is going on out there. They want to hide all the situation that basically that there has been invasions in these countries, that they're being taken over by certain groups, attacks on certain citizens, you know, sexual attacks. And if you say something, you're the one that's arrested. You're the one that come knocking on the door and taken in for speaking. I mean, the other day, there was a girl in Scotland defending herself from two men. And yes, she had an axe, she had a knife. And who did they arrest? They didn't arrest the two men that would do the situation. They arrested the girl who was defending herself. And now that's a rally cry in Europe right now. This girl has become the rally cry there. You know, to the point. I mean, this is just the beginning. On our end, I'm going to tell you this, and I foresee this. I could be right, I could be wrong, but I think with this particular suit, if it comes forward and we end up winning this suit, I think you're going to see the end of age verification in the United States. You probably most likely will see the end of CASA. We won't hear that again because people will say, listen, if the United Kingdom has done it, why are we doing it? Why are we doing it to our people? We already see the damage that it is doing overseas. Whether it's the United Kingdom, whether it's Australia, we already see this happening. And like I said before, there are those in the United Kingdom that is funneling money into this country to push these censorship bills. When we come back on that, we'll discuss one of the people that is behind this, and we've talked about her before. So, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts about this. I mean, we got Ron Coleman here. We got, what is the other law firm? It's Byron and Storm PC. These are good law firms out there. This is out. It's going on. It's going to happen. Ofcom needs to be eliminated. We know that they are literally the strong arm of censorship for Europe. And they're trying to be the strong arm censorship for the United States as well. That's not going to happen. Not with the Constitution here. So drop that comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for those who have already clicked on this video. For those who have subscribed, we really do appreciate it. Those of you who have liked as well and dropped a comment, we really, truly appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out Sci-Fi Snobs Babylon 5 retrospective every Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, and I believe they're already on Rumble. Also, check out his Top Lofty Lounge. And that's Sunday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern, on the same social media platforms. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next video. We'll see you at the season premiere. Have a good one. Enjoy the holiday. If you haven't yet, by the time this video hits, it'll be well after the Labor Day holiday. And time to go back to school, kids. Bye-bye now.